back again with a new video on linear equations. This is a very small and a simple chapter, and I think we'll be able to cover it in next 30 minutes. So let's dive into this chapter and know what this chapter has new for you. Linear equation in two variables. Linear equation means what? Linear means an line. Equation of a line is called linear equation. You have studied this linear equation in grade 7th and 8th with one variable, where the standard form of the equation was ax plus b is equal to 0. That was the standard form. There were few terms of variable and few terms of constant, and then with the help of that equation you were supposed to find the value of the variable. Now, in this chapter, you are going to learn about linear equation of two variables. Now, linear equation of two variables can have any number of any variable, like it can have x, y, it can have u, v, anything. The only thing that you should remember that the coefficient of the variable should not be zero. Here, the definition of the linear equation says that an equation in the form ax plus by plus c is equal to 0 is the equation is a linear equation where a and b cannot be 0. That means the coefficient of x and y should not be equal to 0. So any question that is of the form uh, so any question which is of the form 2x plus 3y plus 3 is equal to 0. This is linear equation in two variable. Why linear equation? One more reason. The degree of this equation, the highest power of the variable is 1. That's why also it is called linear equation. Okay. Now, here the highest power of x is 1 and y is also 1. This is a linear equation. Suppose you get a question 2x plus 3y is equal to minus 3. Then the question arises, is this a linear equation? Yes, it is a linear equation, but it is not in its standard form. If we bring the constant term also on the left hand side, it becomes a it becomes a standard form of the linear equation. So there are very few types of questions which are asked in this chapter based on this equation. So basic knowledge that you should have that the linear equation has the highest power of variable as 1. It should have two variables because we are talking about linear equation and two variables, and any of the terms can be on the right hand side, but then in that case it's not the standard form. Only that much. So if you are given a question like 2x minus 3 is equal to minus 2y. So is this a linear equation? Yes, it has two variables and it has the highest power of variable as 1. So it is a linear equation in two variables. Okay, you will learn how to solve these linear equations in the next video, which is for class 10th. This video is specifically for grade 9 students of CBSE, where you should understand what is solution of this equation and what is an equation. That's it. This is a new topic that's coming to your way. Okay, now to understand what's the solution of the equation. This equation, suppose you are talking about a Cartesian plane. This is a Cartesian plane, the xy axis. This is the x axis and this is the y axis. So any line will have an equation of the form ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. This is the linear equation of this line. Now this line passes through infinite points, and all these points are called the solution of this line. You get my point? See, this line passes through infinite number of points. It passes through this point, this point, this point, this point, and all these points become the solution of this equation. So in other words, those values of x and y which satisfy the equation become the solution of this equation. So the next thing that we should know, suppose you have the equation x minus 2y is equal to 4, and you have to check whether 0 and 4 and 4 and 0 is a solution or not. So first thing is you bring them in the standard form. X minus 2y minus 4 is equal to 0. Why minus 4? Because when you transpose 4 to the left hand side, it becomes minus 4. Now, for x is equal to 0 and y is equal to 2. So you put 0 minus 2 into 2 minus 4. We are taking the LHS is equal to minus 4 minus 4, that is minus 8. It is not equal to 0. That means this equation does not pass through this line. Though it might have infinite number of points lying on it, but these points don't lie on this equation. Let's check for another point that is given in the question, 4 and 0. Let's take it like this: x is equal to 4 and y is equal to 0. LHS will be equal to 4 minus 2 into 0 minus 4, that is 4 minus 4 is equal to 0. Now, since you are getting LHS is equal to the RHS, we can say 4 and 0 are lying on the point, um, are lying on the equation x minus 2y is equal to 4. Okay, so one thing that we conclude is that the linear equation has infinite solutions, and it is not necessary that every point will lie on that linear equation. Okay, so we have to solve the equation, and then if we get LHS is equal to 0, we can say that whether the point is lying on linear equation, on that equation, or on that line or not. Okay, so we conclude the chapter. That's it. That is coming for grade 9. The graphs has been removed. Now I have selected few questions which can be made out of this small topic. Let's solve this question so that you are fully prepared for the chapter. So keep watching the video. If you are really interested in preparing your this second chapter, preparing your fourth chapter, then this is the place. Watch the video till the end, solve all the questions with me, and I can guarantee you are totally prepared for this chapter. You don't have to look into the chapter in more details. Okay, let's continue. So, the first type of questions here are the MCQ kinds. I have found out all the questions that can be asked on this chapter. So there are three types. First is the MCQs I have selected, then I have assertion and reasoning questions, and then the short question answers. And I think these all cover the chapter. And if you are clear with this concept in grade 9, even grade 10 students, for a beginning of the start of the chapter, they should watch this video. So that in this 30 minutes, they are prepared with the, or they revise the grade 9 chapter, and then they move on to grade 10 linear equation. What is the standard form of the linear equation in two variables? That's very clear. Ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. What is the value of k if x is equal to 3 and y is equal to 0? So let's write 2x plus ky is equal to 12 is the equation, and they have given these are the values that we have to choose. So we put x is equal to 3, 2 into 3 plus k into 2 is equal to 12. It implies 6 plus 2k is equal to 12. 2k is this 6 goes this side, becomes minus 6. So you get 6. It implies k is equal to 3 is your answer. Children, I am restricted by my space. So I am writing it horizontally. But in maths, it's always advisable that you go one step below the other, and so on. So maybe your question takes a longer size of the paper, but that's the best way to write the answer. You should never go horizontally like this. I am restricted by the space and my screen, that's why I'm writing like this. Move on to the third question. Which one of the following is not a linear equation? So what we have learned, linear equation means x और y का पावर हमेशा वन होना चाहिए, और टू वेरिएबल्स मतलब कि x और y के अलावा और कुछ नहीं होना चाहिए. ओके. Which one of the following is not a linear equation? So we can see this has power 2. So this is not a linear equation. The equation x is equal to minus 2 represents the line that is okay. Now, in the Cartesian plane, we know this is x axis and this is y axis. At y axis, the value of x, see, this is like a number line. Here the value of x is 0 if I am talking about this number line, and the value increases 1, 2, 3, 4. So if we see this y axis, the red line, can you see what's the value of x at that point? The value of x at all the points on the y axis are 0. So we say the equation of the y axis is x is equal to 0. Okay? Equation of the line of this line is x is equal to 1. Equation of this line is x is equal to 2. Equation of this line will be x is equal to minus 1, and equation of this will be x is equal to minus 2. So now the question, the equation x is equal to minus 2 is represents a line that is parallel to y axis. Now how to remember this? Equation of y axis is x is equal to 0. सो हमेशा x इज इक्वल टू माइनस टू उसके ही पैरेलल होगा. ठीक है. मूविंग ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट. द नंबर ऑफ सॉल्यूशन of the equation y is equal to 3x plus 5. We have studied this. Any linear equation has infinite number of solutions. So we don't need to solve. We simply put. See, in MCQ questions, many a times you need to solve. But many a time with our prerequisite knowledge, also we can put the answers directly. That's the beauty of MCQ questions. Only smart kids are able to solve it properly who have studied the chapter well. If you have not studied the chapter well, you will keep solving it and finding the values and wasting time. So you can be very smart and solve the MCQ questions quickly, but the questions which require calculation should be solved and done, though the calculation should not be shown in the paper. It can be done in rough. Assertion reasoning questions. These are the questions which usually trouble the children. So I'll tell you the trick how to solve them. Whatever is the assertion statement and whatever is the reasoning statement, you should first read that and answer them separately. Let's see the first question. Question number 6. The equation 2x plus 3y is equal to 6 has infinitely many solutions. True. I am not comparing it with anything. In itself, this statement is true. Moving on to the next. Reasoning. The linear equation in two variable represents a straight line in the Cartesian plane. True. But these two statements are not related to each other. That means the answer for this sixth question will be A and B both are true, but R is not the correct explanation of A. So the answer will be B. Moving on to question number 7. The point 1 and 2 lines on the line represented by the equation 3x minus y is equal to 1. So we will check 3x minus y minus 1 is equal to 0. LHS for x is equal to 1 and y is equal to 2 is equal to 3 into 1 minus 2 minus 1, which is equal to 3 minus 3 is equal to 0. So this statement is also true. For a point to lie on a line, it must satisfy the equation of the line. True. And this is what we have used to solve it. So these are related. This is what condition we have used to solve this. So this is the solution for this will be A. Moving on to the short questions. Express the following linear equations in the form In the standard form, ax plus by plus c is equal to 0 and indicate the values of a, b and c. Now, this is already in standard form. Here a is 1, b is minus 1 by 5 and c is minus 10. So children, be careful with the sign here. Here the standard form is minus 3y plus 0 is equal to 0. The constant term is 0 here. So it implies a is equal to 1, b is equal to minus 3 and c is equal to 0. Moving on to the ninth question. For what value of k is x is equal to 2 and k y is equal to 1 the solution of the equation? So for x is equal to 2 and y is equal to 1, LHS is equal to 2 into 1 plus 3, sorry, 2 into 2 plus 3 into 1 is equal to k. It implies k is equal to 4 plus 3, that is 7. This is your answer for question number 9. If the point 3 and 4 lie on the graph of the equation, find the value of A. This is same type of a question. You can solve it yourself. You just have to put the value of y and x. Let's put it. Question number 10. So y value is 4. 3 into 4 is equal to um, A into 3 plus 7. So here you get 12. So 3a is equal to 12 minus 7 is 5 and a is equal to 5 by 3. Moving on to the 11th question. Write four solutions of the equation 2x plus 5 plus is equal to 7. This is an interesting question. You have to think of values of x and y yourself in this question. So question number 11. Your equation is 2x plus y is equal to 7. It is always advisable that you express one variable in terms of the other to get the answer. Here, I would prefer to write this as 7 minus 2x. Now, I can choose any value of x and then calculate the corresponding value of y. Suppose I take x is equal to 1. So my y will be 7 minus 2 into 1, that is 5. So let me make a chart here because they have asked us to find four values. So x, y, my first value x1, y is 5. x2, y will be 7 minus 4, that is 3. x3, y will be 7 minus 6 is equal to 1 and x is equal to 4, or let's put x is equal to 0. Why should we increase the length? In case we were supposed to plot it also, it would have, we will have to make a bigger graph. So we'll use smaller values only. X is equal to 0, so y is equal to 7. These are the four values. You can use any value as you want. There is no restriction. Only that you should write your answer in a proper way that teacher can see it in one go and give you the marks. Okay, moving on to the 12th question. Check which of the following are the solutions of the equation x minus 2y is equal to 4 and which are not. Okay, this we have done in MCQs also. Let's see. X minus 2y minus 4 is equal to 0 for 0 and 2. 0 and 2 means पहले x की वैल्यू है फिर y की वैल्यू है. This you will learn in coordinate geometry also. So 0 and 2 means x and y. X is 0 and y is 2. So 0 minus 2 into 2 minus 4 is LHS we are talking about is equal to minus 4. Minus 4 is equal to minus 8, not equal to 0. Go for 2 0. So LHS will be 2 into 2 my sorry x is 2 minus 0 minus 4 is not equal to 0. Let's take for 4 and 0. For 4 and 0. So our LHS will be 4 minus 0 minus 4, which is equal to 0. So we got one of the solutions. Same way, you can solve the rest of the part also. If you want, you can pause the video, solve it, and go for it. Next question is a word problem. See, word problems are more frequently asked in grade 10, but I thought it would be a great idea to teach you how to frame equation if the statements are given to you and then express it. So the taxi fare in a city is as follows. For the first kilometer, the fare is rupees 8, and for the subsequent distance, it is rupees 5 per kilometer. Take the distance covered as x kilometer. So total distance covered is equal to x kilometer, and total fare is equal to rupees 5. Why? Write a linear equation with this information. Now we know if x kilometer distance is covered, for the first kilometer, the fare is rupees 8. And then for x minus 1 distance, the fare is rupees 5 per kilometer. So for x minus 1, the fare will be 5 into x minus 1. So 8 into 1 plus 5 into x minus 1 is equal to y. Let's solve it. Plus 5x minus 5. Here we are using distributive property is equal to y. So your equation becomes 3 plus 5x is equal to y. Now since they have asked you the linear equation, we will express it in the form of standard form and give our answer. 5x minus y plus 3 is equal to 0. This is your linear equation for the given question. Moving on to the 14th question. For the equation 3x plus 4y is equal to 12, find the value of y when x is equal to 2. So till now we were finding the value of a or k. Here they are saying find the value of y only. So what we will do, we will express 4y is equal to 12 minus 3x. Now 12 minus 3 into 2, that is 12 minus 6, that is 6. So your y is equal to 6 by 4, that is 3 by 2. That's your answer. I think, children, I have covered most of the topics. Few points that might not be clear to you will be regarding Cartesian planes and x and y. But in coordinate geometry, you will learn the same topic again, where you will be talking about Cartesian planes and plotting the graph and all. So these two topics are very much interconnected. I think this much is enough for you to know for this chapter. And if you have any doubt, you can mail me about your doubts. I would like to reach most of the children and make maths easy for all of you so that you start enjoying maths with me. Thank you and keep watching Easy Maths for more such videos. Thank you.